And I do believe Bonbon is going to open it up for us here.
That's nice. That's nice.
On the Dark Pit.
We get some debuts here.
Going against a Terry, which is really unfortunate for Ryder because I know he was excited to cast the Street Fighter characters.
He was, wasn't he? He was, wasn't he?
So doesn't get to cast the first Terry of the season.
And they're straight at it. Nice short hops into forward airs. Interesting. Both players are really just going to have to feel each other out since it's the very first fight of this entire match tonight. So definitely not too aggressive, not too defensive, but they're in each other's face. Nice forward neutral from the Terry. Both at 54%. Yeah. You often see in these first rounds, guys are really feeling each other out, and then just getting their controller ready. You know, just getting warmed up here. But it's still very active, very offensive from both guys.
Yeah, Bonbon's done a pretty nice job at keeping Terry from being able to have much control.
Not
Has
giving
Terry in the
too
back
much
foot
up.
a lot.
Yeah, not giving too much up.
Man, it does not take much for Terry to start doing some damage.
Not at all. Especially now that he's got that go right there.
Oh, but a nice read there from Bonbon. He's going to take the opening stock here.
What I'm liking a lot from Bonbon is it's a patient style, but it's still on the offensive, like very consistent.
And nice little combos, not anything crazy, but the down throw into an up air.
Offense to decent defense an instant. Taking his attack and then prepping on defense, being really predicting what the opponent's gonna throw right after. Okay. Big up smash.
Good up smash out
Terry.
of shield from Terry. Is going to take Bonbon's first stock.
Forward throw.
Terry's getting some reads here.
Sure is. Trying to play a little more defensive, I see, realizing that Bonbon's got a real good defense going at the start of this one, so Terry's not trying to give up too much of his percentage to the
Waiting out the arrow here.
Yeah, Terry clearly trying to bait the edge guard right there, but didn't get what he wanted. Little insulting here, playing the range and just firing off
the arrows,
firing off those arrows.
What are you gonna do about it, Terry?
He knows good and well Terry can't really close to that distance too fast, so he's got to be a little patient about it.
Ooh, does get punished though. That go meter is built up for Terry. Oh,
baby!
Big read out of Terry there.
Major read.
See if Bonbon is able to even this one up here.
So now they're both, we got Terry at 150 damage, but 2 stocks left. Dealing really quick 86% here. Oh,
and that's going to be a kill?
Man.
Yeah, Bonbon's going to go down.
Gets the job done. And I guess that's the perks of having a Terry on your side is that he's going to deal a ton of damage in a little bit of time. Bonbon played a really good game there. Defensive and assertive all at once. Really timed well on the defense, his shields, his spot dodges. Really good job there playing the Dark Pit. Even abused the range there for a little while, shooting off those arrows, taking advantage of Terry's close range style, but Terry just dealt way too much damage in a short amount of time.
I was hoping when Terry approached there that she was going to mix it up and hit him with a side smash or forward smash as soon as he approached through all the arrows, but unfortunately not the case.
Didn't change pace quick enough. Didn't change pace.
As we'll be moving on to the next fighter here for UNT Dallas. I'm not sure who it's going to be. And also, I believe we do have a guest caster here. So I'll actually be passing a microphone here in just a second. Bruce, can we mute the mic so that they don't get blasted?
Oh, it's not. How it is.
Okay, there we go. Howdy, everyone. Emphasis on the howdy because I attend Texas A&M. My name is Andrew Butler. My gamer tag is Yawning. I won't get into the details because it's kind of disrespectful and toxic. But, you know, I've been playing this game for a little bit, actually a little more than a little bit personally. But I play Sora, and I'm here, you know, I got a couple of friends at UNTD, so I wanted to step up to cast for a little bit.
Dope. We're glad to have you. My name's Jamir.
What's up? So, as you were saying, we're kind of going into the second match. You know, we have UNTD's next player coming up. This is going to be Shizzy. He's going to be, of course, a Mario main. Now, of course, he's coming in fresh with 3 stocks, but, you know, Terry, even with 2 stocks, he's definitely still a dangerous presence.
Yeah. Terry, if we're talking about the map striking situation, then we'll know that the losing team, which is UNT Dallas, has the opportunity to ban the 2 stages. So knowing that they have a Terry, what do you feel like the optimal stage selection would be for UNT Dallas going into this?
So I feel as if going into, just like knowing for what I know from Terry, you're going to want to avoid Town and Smashville. So, well, I guess Smashville as well as Hollow Bastion. Single platform stages are really, really good for Terry, mostly because a lot of his aerials, since they can be canceled on Shield, he can cancel them, of course, into his side Bs. And those, of course, will cover the entirety of the platform. And, of course, when it comes to Town, not only do you still have a single plat, but Terry kills really, really early off the sides of the stages. So when you have, like, you know, the Go Meter, things like Buster Wolf and Powder Geyser, those super special moves, those kill really, really early off the side. And those are going to be taking stocks really, really early, even for just average waves, just like Mario.
Yeah. Really good insight there. So we're waiting for the 2 teams right now. Just so you said you used Sora.
Yeah, so a little bit of a corny character, but I've been sticking with Sora for some time now. It's what I kind of played in high school, you know.
Yeah.
I've actually played against, you know, Shizzy myself. He's a personal friend of mine, you know.
Oh, okay, nice.
You know, I'm a little bit better than him, but, you know, I won't say that, you know, out here, you know. We're out here with UNTD, showing lots of love out here.
Right.
So we're going to see if you can overcome this deficit. You know, 2 stocks, like I said, you know, you can definitely overcome it. But especially with, you know, Mario, that's a character that, of course, has amazing combo routes. And especially against slightly heavier characters and bigger characters like Terry is. But, you know, it's still really, really scary with that Go Meter.
Definitely a scary character to play against. I mean, he's just going to get you from 0 to 100 in an instant. So you have to really manage the fight. We've seen from UNT Dallas, they're really well at timing their defenses. You know, does a great job just shielding when they need to. So we'll see how this one goes. Last week, I think the other team, they didn't have a Terry, but they had a Captain Falcon that dealt a ton of damage kind of in a similar manner. He did a great job fighting against UNT Dallas's players. So we'll see how things go in this second.
You know, so we're into week 2, and we're going to see small battlefield coming in. Now, this is a pretty good stage for Mario. But like I said, we're just going to have to see how it goes. We're going to see Terry take the first stock, and we'll get starting the match pretty soon.
Thompson right into it. Here we go.
All right, so this is something you have to be really, really careful in respecting Terry's options. So we're seeing, you know, GC's kind of playing it really well. He's already getting that nice % lead.
And then just as you called it, they chose a 2-plat stage. Avoiding that 1 platform.
Yeah, and we're seeing, you know, GC's definitely benefiting off of it. We're seeing, you know, Terry being stuck in disadvantage. That's not really the one thing you want against Mario. Now we're seeing him at ledge. It can be a little bit of Terry's spot. And we're,
really nice recovery, though, from Mario.
Yeah, we're seeing him get back to stage, but here comes the Go Meter, and once again, when you're at ledge, it can be really scary. Getting a down tilt, getting any confirm will do it.
Terry maintaining that distance really well off this edge guard. Nice back throw. Is he going to follow up?
We see him sadly miss the follow-up, but once again, getting him off stage. Let's see if he can potentially get a snipe with the fireball, but even then, just being at ledge.
Yep. There he grabs the ledge. Both of them at really high % here.
So we're going to be seeing who's going to end up taking this stock first. Now, Mario, he definitely can take stocks, but it takes very, very specific moves, so you can't necessarily just throw them out.
Especially with Terry being a little bit heavier.
Yeah, Terry's definitely, he's not necessarily super heavyweight, but he's definitely bigger.
There's that Go Meter smash.
Yeah, we're seeing the Buster Wolf come out. That was a really weird, strange interaction, but once again, we're seeing this Terry take the stock.
Ooh, beautiful counter from Shizzy there.
Yeah, a wonderful parry and an amazing punish with that up smash. So we're once again seeing it kind of on even footing.
Taking care of business. Got 1 stock to go. And if he can get out of this with 2 stocks, then that's very ideal for UNT Dallas.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Once again, being at def is never great in the crew format, so we're seeing him at 80%. This is a little bit scary, but once again, Mario, he does so much damage.
Beautiful
like
juggle there from Shizzy. Oh, yeah, he's getting it going. Nice combos.
Just keeping this Terry in disadvantage, that's such a great option. That's what you want to be doing against this character.
Staying on the aggressive, staying assertive, not really letting Terry get his feet on the ground.
And of course, kind of we're at 109, so he wants how to clear this stock out as early as possible.
Oh, man.
Because of that reason, we're seeing him end up losing the stock all the way across stage to the other ledge.
And that's where it gets rough. Once you lose those combos and allowing Terry just to get right back on the offensive, it's a 0 to 100 instant. He can take care of your stock in a moment. Nice follow-up. Landed the snipe of the fireball.
And we're seeing it once again off stage, but we're kind of been seeing, GG struggle to take stocks in these situations. We're going to see missing the punish. This is really, really dangerous off stage.
He's got to finish the job here. Utilize the platform really well, but the down B from Terry gets through the shield.
This is really, really scary.
Nice grab.
Once again, he's off stage.
Sending him off stage, but not following through. Okay, Terry misses the ledge grab.
Wow.
And there it is. And there it is. Shizzy gets the job done.
Honestly, if there's one thing, if Mario can kill, he definitely can gimp. So, using Flood, using that cape, that's really, really cheesy ways of getting out stocks.
Yeah, really cheeky. Good job, Shizzy there. But that was a nice match there. Even though Mario, as you said, might have had a slight disadvantage because he wasn't taking the stocks as easily as Terry could, he took care of business. Terry was really dealing heavy damage, and you could see Shizzy stayed calm under pressure because there was a lot of instances there where things looked like it wasn't in his favor. Terry getting that go meter up and really fast pace, and just Shizzy did a great job sending him off stage and following through.
Staying calm, especially like when your teammates are relying on you, is so important. And even with, like you said, with Terry being at 100%, being able to remain calm, being able to be smart with how you're gimping your opponents, how you're going to be able to take in his stocks is just what you're going to need to be doing. So we are seeing, of course, Shizzy with one stock remaining, but we'll see how far he can take it. Mario, like we saw these combos, he can definitely get the damage up. It's just a matter of taking out those stocks pretty fast.
Absolutely, you've got that one stock, so you gotta really get on the aggressive. And he came into this one with a plan in mind. He utilized those throws really well. He played with great confidence. And now what happens is that next fighter for Manchester University has a little bit of insight on how he plays. He's got a little bit of insight on who he's playing, so it really helps them decide on what's the most favorable matchup for them to come into this next match.
And that's always, kind of the benefit. Even if you're on the losing sides of crews, you've seen what your opponent plays like. So if you can go into this match, okay, I know what I should look for. I know how to play against this character. That's gonna be key.
Yep. As they're going into the character selection and stage selection, how it should go is that UNT Dallas also gets to ban in this one, I believe, for the stage striking, because it would be a coin flip, and then the losing side strikes 2 stages. Yeah.
All right, so we're looking into this, banning process, but I just want to say, what do you think some things that like Shishi should really look for going into this next match, especially with his last stock?
I think he did a great job with the timing of his shields in the last one. Even though there was someone like Terry dealing a ton of damage really quickly, he did a great job just changing pace, changing from offense to defense. I think we want to see that same behavior, and then not getting too greedy off the ledges. He was not really jumping off and putting himself at risk against Terry, but he did a great job of just maintaining space, sending off the fireballs for sniping, and how we see this matchup is Byleth. This is Mario.
So Byleth is one of those characters that has so much range. Mario, he definitely does a lot of damage when he gets in, but he is kind of stubby, so some of these long-range characters can be a bit of a struggle. So we have to see, Mario really close the gap, get in, and see what you can really do.
Right, so it's definitely going to force Shizzy to have to play maybe at a much faster pace. So seeing this Byleth is going to be very interesting. She can play at several different ranges. If she wants to keep you close, she can keep you close. If she wants to play distance, she can. Nice grab. That's something I'm seeing Shizzy do really good at, is managing the grabs and these juggles. Oh, that's beautiful percentage. 73 really quickly there for Shizzy.
And once again, you're throwing him. Now you're at 90. This is really, really dangerous to be off at the ledge. Kalos, you're going to live a little bit longer simply because there are higher ceilings. But needless to say, getting sent off the side is really where it's going to be lacking.
Nice snipe from the fireball, not letting Byleth get that really good recovery that she has.
Byleth has a really great recovery, but I would say Fireball's just really, really great at sniping those tethers, as you were kind of saying. And once again, we're kind of seeing Shizzy going with these combos.
And also just managing his defense really well, not really getting hit. Because he's still at 68%.
You know, Mario's a really, really evasive character, and like you said, maximizing percent is so important when you're at a deficit, so he can definitely bring this back. All he has to do is play as safe as he's doing now, and this Byleth kind of seems to be stringing, but they're struggling to, you know, really be able to actually get those really strong hits. So once again, back to neutral, we're going to see them both kind of floating around center stage, kind of just jumping. We're seeing them going forward, though, you know, once again, getting back to center stage, and both these characters, man, it's just such a tense match.
Very tense here. You can see Byleth is kind of matching the pace of Shizzy. Because Mario's so evasive and all of his short hops and movement, Byleth's trying to really land a hit and just match that same pace. Great edge guard, taking care of, the crazy recovery from Byleth there again.
You know, out of all the tethers in the game, that's one thing that's special about Byleth is,
Do we get it? Yep, he's back on stage. Nice grab. Instantly dealing a ton of damage with the back throw. He's got to take care of this one. Nice.
The stock is gone. That was such a great switch up, you know, almost accidentally losing his stock to that back air. Now he has an opportunity to potentially take the lead back for UNT.
This is really big for Shizzy. Started off this one with a big disadvantage, 3-1, and now he's right back in at 1-1. Despite having 121%, we've seen the way that Shizzy evades attacks and has made it really hard for Byleth to land a hit.
You know, and we try to see him, you know, punish the get-up attack once again. That's the option. We're seeing this Byleth do a lot, but sadly he just misses. This is really scary, you know. Once again, he is at 138, and Byleth definitely has the options to take stocks. But
nice grab.
So well.
Like you mentioned, he's closing that distance really quickly and getting what he wants. Now what's scary is, that's a big one. That's a big one. And that's still a really great round for Shizzy. Really great round. Took 2 stocks off the Byleth. UNT Dallas still down, but you've created a better opportunity for your teammates.
Most definitely. Even, of course, you know, it went down to the wire. He almost closed it out, but sadly, you know, the arrow just slightly snipping out of that, you know, the reflect range for that cape. So it's a little unfortunate, but that builds morale for your team, knowing that even with a deficit, you can still potentially come back and even almost take the game like Shizzy did just right there.
Absolutely. That was an exciting one. That was really tense. I mean, Shizzy made that a fight when it seemed like there might not have been one. You know, when you're in a situation where you've got 1 stock, it's very easy to feel like, okay, I just got to get 1. I just got to get 2. But he really took care of business, almost pulled off the entire turnaround and made it so that his team was in an even more favorable position than they are now.
You know, and we're going in, I believe this is Sledge coming in as Sonic. So I've never personally played against Sledge, but boy, Sonic is one character definitely to see online.
Man, it's going to be crazy. So I've seen Sledge as Sonic, and very similar to what we witnessed with Mario there is it's super evasive. It's going to have Byleth on the edge of her seat, you know, just really trying to land a hit because of the way that he manages his space. And then also on top of that, he does a great job baiting his approaches. So, you know, we saw Shizzy do a really good job of closing distance in like a split second and pulling off those grabs and forward throws, dealing a ton of damage in order to rack up that percent. We're going to see probably something similar, but not exactly the forward throws, but rather he'll bait the approach a bunch of times, and it kind of throws off the attacker. So we're going to see a different type of play, but it's similar in a sense.
Yeah, no, so like you were saying, like the baiting is obviously going to be part of like Sonic's game plan, but his punish game is just so potent. When you have those down beats and side beats, they do so much damage, and they combo into his areas. It's just so much damage, and like you said, Sonic is a very evasive character. He may be the fastest character in the game, but he doesn't play oppressive. He plays the game slow.
What does Sonic say? Gotta catch me. Something like that. He says something like that, and he's tough to catch. He's a fast character.
Most definitely. And so we're going into this next match. Of course, UNT is going to be starting first. They're going to have 3 stocks. We're going to see our Byleth coming in with just 1. We're going to see if they could potentially maximize it with just the 1. But once again, Sonic is just one of those characters. It's really hard to play against.
Yep, and like we say, once you've got the opportunity to see how your opponent fights, you get a little bit of a confidence boost. You know, you've got a feel for what they did in that previous round, and you have an expectation of how to go in order to take that match.
All right, and we're seeing the start going on. Now, we're kind of seeing the Byleth kind of stay back, just kind of pressure with the arrows. That is something against Sonic. You really have to play the game slow.
Yep. She's not going to really look for combos as much, rather just deal her damage. Just deal her damage, take her time, and not lose this stock is what she's looking for.
Yeah, no, once again, because, of course, if you see the stock is lost, and, of course, we're going to be at even footing once again that, you know, the advantage that you had previously is kind of just gone. But we're seeing them kind of get up some damage on this Sonic right here.
Yeah, this is a really smart game being played here. You can see the anticipation from both players, just anticipating shields, anticipating shots. Just all of the above. Great, well-timed shield and down throw, and follows up with the side B.
You know, down B or down throw is one of those things that kind of sends you in tumble against Sonic, and that's really, really good for his side B and down B. So once again, we're seeing it at high percents, but you know, Sonic's definitely a character.
Yo, that's tough. That's a tough one.
So once again, we're seeing this kind of just going back and forth. Nobody's really getting these hits, but the fourth throw off stage, that's dangerous.
That's a great throw. Ooh-wee! Big forward smash gets it done without losing a single stock.
And so now we're seeing Sledge has actually evened it up. So now we're looking at even footing for both teams. So this is definitely going to be really big going into this third match.
And that's the beauty of Q battles. You know, you don't have to get your hopes down when your team's at a disadvantage because you've got guys that are going to take care of it. You've got favorable matchups. You've got scouting. You've got to pay attention to how people play before you. There's a lot that goes into it rather than just pressing the buttons on the controller, you know. It's a lot of observing and adjusting and adapting in match and before the match.
Yeah, there's so much that goes into crews, as you're saying. Not only just paying attention to your opponent, seeing who they're playing against, what you could potentially do if they ultimately don't end up winning the match, but also team morale. And like you said, there's so much thought that has to go into it compared to just a singles bracket.
So much.
You know, so obviously we're looking into Sonic. So what do you think maybe some stages that Sonic's going to be looking at? I'm personally thinking maybe like Town and City, you know, a really big stage.
I was thinking so too. You get more room to play around. You get more room to make your opponent feel uncomfortable. And it also makes those baits just a lot more effective. Because then you're baiting and then you're anticipating how your opponent's going to react to those baits like we saw before. We saw the forward baits over and over. They were responded by shields, and then a jump followed, and then you get your opponent off their feet and you start landing some hits. So, you know, Sonic player is really good at that, knowing your distance. Just he's got that speed. It's super reliable.
You know, Sonic is literally the fastest character in the game. Not only just by like his specials, but even just by his run speed. I think he's literally classified as the fastest. So, like you said, him being able to bait is just something that most characters can't keep up with. You know, they throw out an option. Now they're just susceptible to getting hit. And Sonic is a character that capitalizes so much off that, especially online. You know, you have that delay. It's hard to react to certain things that Sonic does.
Yeah. And with that in mind, who do you think that would be a favorable matchup against the Sonic right now?
So, Me Gunner's actually one of them. So it's crazy we're going into this with Me Gunner. So Sonic, it's a couple characters he kind of struggles with, those being primarily Me Gunner, Roy, and Fox. So it's going to be either fast and impressive characters or characters that slow it down, just like Me Gunner.
That's nice. He's looking like John Wick out here, too.
Yep, I was about to say. It's black v black, man. We're seeing it.
Hey.
I would say also a little bit of a scary downer, but once again, we're seeing, you know, Sledge kind of get away with the lead. Oh.
They're keeping it nice and close right here, and this is what you like to see. Sonic's knowing that he doesn't want Me Gunner playing that ranged game, so he's up in his grill.
Yeah, no, you know, you definitely want to play aggressive against a character like Me Gunner. When they get spacing, it's just so hard to get in. Ooh, that's a dangerous place to be offline. Almost getting the hit off stage, but we're getting back to neutral.
And there you see Me Gunner kind of maintaining that space to land that big explosion right there.
You know, we're seeing a lot of these F smash getting thrown out. You know, Me Gunner has some really, really good smash attacks that are not only safe, but just do so much damage.
Yeah.
But once again, we're seeing him off stage, just almost trying to snipe the up B. We're going to see them getting back. You're going to want to take this stock definitely pretty soon, because if not, if Me Gunner gets zoning, it's so hard to get in.
This is a really well-played defensive match going on right now. Both of them, you can see Sonic's really working on closing that space and landing a hit, and Me Gunner's also anticipating the attacks whenever Sonic does close in the space.
You know, you have to be careful. Sonic may be an impressive character, but if Me Gunner can get a couple of the moves in, they have a lot of confirms to take the stocks in.
Right, which is why we're seeing a lot more of a defensive style from Sonic here. Because even if he can close in that space, we're getting those crazy smash attacks that are dealing a ton of damage just like there.
You know, and that's that side smash does so much damage and has so much range. So we're seeing the stock. Ooh,
and
now we're seeing it even
and it has a long duration. It's not just an instant move. It's about 4 or 5 shots coming out of that cannon right there.
You know, it definitely is a lingering move, but once again, we're kind of seeing this match get a little bit even. We're gonna see if, you know, Sledge can finally get in, but he's kind of getting ranged out just a little bit.
Yep, goes to show the skill of Sonic right now, Sledge playing right now. Because even if this isn't a favorable matchup, he's being really patient. Nice down throw.
You know, and even great right then, he was just waiting, kind of baiting just to see what kind of option he was going to do after the down throw. And that's, like I said, that's one of the things you definitely want to abuse is Sonic. You know, we're trying to see him close the distance a little bit, but you're kind of seeing him trade a lot with the grenades, things like that, and it's kind of making it a little bit hard, but off stage, here we go.
And that's why this is a really nice match, because it's patient. Both players are playing really patient. He's closing the distance, but he isn't getting greedy after he closes the distance, because he knows what's going to come next. He knows those smash attacks are following. Nice edge guard. Didn't get to keep him off the edge, though. Nice recovery there from Bennett.
Get up, and you know, Sonic, you have to be really, really careful. Like at 61, even though it might not necessarily seem like a high percent, you know, with a couple interactions, you know, Sonic is not really a heavy character. He could definitely end up losing his stock pretty early.
Well-timed side air there while falling down. It does it again, sending him cross stage.
You know, and this is, you know, being at ledge is really, really scary against me Gunner. But once again, we're kind of seeing them get back to this point. We're seeing 132, that's really high percent. If he gets hit by an aerial, that might be able to take the stock.
And me Gunner's still playing a really calm game. Lots of spot dodges, and just like you said, a ton of damage there with those smashes. Ooh. And it's still even here. And ooh.
Just as we were saying, you know, that was a really, really great snipe with that homing attack. It's such a great move. It arcs above some of, like, you know, the ranges for me Gunner's move, kind of its burst range. And so it's just great to be able to finally get in.
Oh, yeah. We got a nice combo there from Sledge on that there.
You know, what an insane string at 57%. Now, this is a really, really great lead to have, but we're seeing his silence slip away. Once again, that side smash is just so strong.
Yep, got the spot dodge off, got behind Sonic in favorable position, and sent him straight off the match with that smash, that side smash.
You know, and especially a ledge force match is such a great tool, but we're seeing, you know, 67%, a couple hits, and you're going to be end up at like a high, really high percent.
We're seeing Sledge really likes that side air too. Trying to set that one up in order to get that string going.
You know, it's such a great tool. And once again, we're seeing, you know, 86, he's slowly getting these hits in, getting around some of me Gunner's options, kind of just jumping over and abusing them.
Really tense match here. Really tense match because despite me Gunner having 119, he's done a great job defending, and we know that Sonic has to close the distance.
Yep, and once again, that was such a misfortunate miss on the F smash that would have been able to take the stock, but we're seeing 127 just kind of throwing him out, trying to get that stock taken as early as possible.
Really big difference here in the percentages. 140. Things are looking up for Sonic, but it's not over for me Gunner yet. His back was turned to him.
Yep, and 147.
There it is, the down throw. Oh, it was a back throw this time. And he gets the side air off, or was that a smash?
It was a forward aerial.
Forward air.
But that was such a great look. We've been seeing him doing it throughout the match, you know, just doing that high upbeat, going for that fair, just try to catch the recovery of me Gunner.
Because me Gunner wasn't really going for ledge grabs much. So he was anticipating getting back on stage, and he timed and matched the jump really well.
Yeah, and to be frank, going for ledge against Sonic is a little bit scary. You know, that F smash, you know, he winds up, he steps back. So even if you try to do something like a get up attack or an arrow off ledge, sometimes he'll just straight up miss.
You're going to get caught. So yeah, really, really good play there from Sledge. And he takes all 3 stocks and is left with 1. So UNT Dallas is up 1 stock. And Manchester University has lost 2 fighters so far.
This is going to be huge. You know, we're finally seeing UNTD for the first time in this match being able to actually get the advantage. So they're kind of stepping out of the disadvantage, like you said. Even if it starts off kind of in a slump, you know, with your teammates, that morale, being able to, you know, switch in, apply what you know, apply what you've seen, it will really help you in the following games.
Yep. And you've got an opportunity to see who you're going to play against next. So far, we've seen a Dark Pit from UNT Dallas. We witnessed there in that last fight. Manchester University had me Gunner, and in the first matchup, it was nothing, just a producer wave real quick.
A little bit of, production communication going on right here.
Yep.
But like you said, Sledge is going to be having this one stock left, so we're going to be seeing how he's going to use it.
Oh, okay. All right. Reminder. Okay, so glad it's here. Over there. Yep. We saw Turrier in the first round, then Byleth followed, me Gunner, and now Manchester U is down to their last fighter. So UNT Dallas has 4 stocks, and Manchester University has 3 left.
So we're going to see potentially Sled could honestly just, if he can reverse 3 stocks, then, UNTD will be done. They'll ultimately take the game. But at least we're going to see him at least want to take a couple just to set up for the last player, Neon, to finally clutch it up and get the home win.
And you'd love to have that advantage. If you can go out and finish the job without them seeing who your fourth fighter potentially is, that's a great advantage for you guys going into that next set.
Not only is it just great advantage, but also, to be frank, it's a display of dominance.
Oh yeah. Confidence up. Guys that are going to rotate back in are going to have a lot of chips on their shoulders, knowing that they want to take care of business, just like Sledge has so far.
Yep, and so like we said, we're going to be seeing, kind of the stage bands going now. So obviously, Sonic, we saw them go to FD. It's a pretty sizable stage, but of course, the biggest thing is there are no platforms.
There weren't. That's a great observation. I wasn't really catch that, but yeah, with that being said, I mean, it really was advantageous for Sonic in that matchup, and looks like we're going to have Pokemon Stadium 2 in this next one.
All right. PS2 is definitely one of the more neutral stages when it comes to Smash, but we're seeing Greninja coming in, so once again, a pretty fast character.
Speed versus speed.
And it's kind of crazy, Greninja's definitely a fast character, but he plays a lot more of an aggressive game than Sonic does. Sonic, you're of course more bait and punishing, and Greninja does it too, but they're definitely going to be applying a lot of pressure even more so.
Getting those SDs from Sonic. Sonic's going to start this one off with just 1 stock, and then they're going to taunt, and it's right to it.
All right, so once again, we see Sledge at 1 stock, so potentially if he can take a stock, that would be even just a great advantage just setting up for the last player, Neon.
Greninja not really sure what the approach is just yet. Maybe getting a feel or trying to bait.
So Greninja's a character who, even though they're pretty offensive, they had to wait for a lot of their good setups and combos. They had to be fairly patient. They had to kind of get those dash attacks, those down tilt, those really great combo moves. And to be frank, it's a lot easier for Sonic to get his than it is for Greninja.
Just before, we saw a really nice attack over there at the ledge. He's what he's doing is he's setting up that forward throw. He throws that shuriken at you so that you shield, and then he tries to pull off a throw right there on the ledge.
Yep, and we're seeing him play pretty, kind of back and forth. He's kind of waiting for Sonic to throw out an option, and, he has to be really careful. Once again, Greninja's not necessarily a heavy character, so Sonic could definitely take this stock.
Yeah, and he's probably playing right now trying not to lose a single stock so that he can go into this next matchup if he wins with an even matchup.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what you're going to want to aim for. And we're seeing, that dangerous down air. And once again, you're off stage. This is really dangerous spot against Sonic.
Super good recovery, though. Didn't really bother him too much pulling off that dangerous down air. Sonic going for the same play style. Both of them kind of playing around on the edge. Here comes the grab. Just misses. Really good short hop Sonic there.
Yep, and once again, this is really, really close for both. And to be frank, it's almost back and forth. I honestly wouldn't even know who's going to take the stock first.
And there it is. The shuriken takes care of business.
When you charge that shuriken, it surprisingly does a lot of knockbacks. So we're going to see it, kind of go through Sonic's side B and ultimately take that stock. So now you're looking at an even game between Manchester and UNTD.
Yep. So UNT Dallas, they're both even, 3 stocks to 3 stocks. We're still here in the first set, so it's been a really intense match so far. Really even just within each of the matchups. Players playing really smart, defending against each other. Not too much greed going on. No SDs unintentionally mid-match. So, I mean, it's been a really strategic match thus far.
Most definitely. And, it's kind of crazy, once like I said, UNTD starting off with that disadvantage, but now you're looking at this final game, last 3 stocks, and it's straight up just even.
Even footing.
All right, so we're going to be seeing Neon come in. So Neon plays a good amount of characters, but Steve is probably the one he's been sticking with the longest. He's someone that I played a lot within our DISD tournaments, and needless to say, he's a pretty tight Steve.
Yeah. I mean, the cart rides are crazy. Last time we played, if you didn't know, Steve kind of just recently got unbanned and then the competitive stage for Super Smash Bros. So in our last match, the opposing team were trying to find out if he was even allowed to use Steve once they saw him selected. So that was a pretty funny moment there for them to kind of see Steve in the match, and they're like, hold on, can you do that?
Like Steve is the discussion with Steve, in Smash, people are like, oh, he should be banned, oh, he shouldn't be banned. It's been such a thing, but like you said, we're seeing him unbanned now, and we're gonna be seeing what he can be doing now. Greninja's a character because he has a lot of gravity and he's a very fast faller. He can get comboed pretty easily by things like Steve's jab. So we're gonna see if Neon could really benefit from that going into this next match.
Yeah, Neon does a great job of stringing together those combos, sending them in the air, just the cart ride into the string of jabs. So it'll be really interesting to see how these two match up. But then it's also just really dangerous because that Greninja showed off his abilities as well.
Just like he said, he displayed a lot of patience, just waiting for certain things, getting some of the smart follow-ups and just knowing what his combo starters are. Knowing your conditions, what you need to get damage is, to be frank, part of the winning process. You have to know that.
Yep, here we are in the clutch. 3 stocks to 3 stocks. Last fighters for both schools, UNT Dallas versus Manchester University. By the way, my bad, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was about to say, this is just a watch to see, like you're saying. This is the last 3v3.
Absolutely. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit the follow button as you're watching this here Twitch stream. And also check out our socials on Instagram, untdallas.esports on Instagram and UNTD Esports on YouTube, where you can catch all the VODs of the other teams. Play Overwatch, Valorant, Call of Duty, Rocket League, and Super Smash Bros. Hope I'm not missing any of the other games.
UNTD, we got a lot of games. They have a lot of talented players, I may not go here, but I had to say, y'all have a great team, man.
Yeah.
We're going into this last match, so we're going to be seeing, this is for all the Marlboros for win or for lose and going to FD.
It is. Straight up, they don't have to taunt, they don't have to SD. Steve Enderman trying to gather the right materials so that he can deal big damage.
So one thing that Steve really, really likes about FD is that, when you're mining, you're using your shovel. So for a lot of other stages, you're going to be using some of the tools that you use for combat. But on this one, you're using a tool that you don't have to worry about really breaking.
Oh, that's a really nice fact.
But we're seeing, Neon take this lead right now. 84%. This is really, really dangerous. Steve,
really aggressive play here.
This is kind of crazy. Usually you see Steve kind of play kind of slow, just focus on mining. But Steve is a character like that.
Oh, man. And he's not allowing himself to get caught up in worrying about the speed of Greninja. He's just following the movements really well.
Like you said, he's kind of just throwing moves out, kind of playing a little bit of aggressive. You don't see that from Steve. And, Steve can struggle against really, really offensive characters.
Oh, there's that combo. Nice anvil off the ledge.
But we see him try to go for the block gimp. If you hit that block, you can't recover. But Neon's just doing an excellent job right now.
Jeez. Yeah, just super poised play here from Neon right now.
And we're seeing him, he's kind of, course, scrapping a little bit now. Stone tools are definitely a lot better than just using wooden ones. A little more durability.
And there's Greninja pulling something off for himself.
We're seeing him kind of start to running it back. And, once he gets those things like down tilt and dash attack, those can be kill confirms. He can end up actually being able to take the stock. And we're seeing an excellent parry come out for Neon right there. And being off stage is such a dangerous
see the anvil? Nope, didn't get it.
So I think he tried to go for the fair right there. It sends down as a spike. It's a really, really good kill move. But once again, we're kind of seeing high percents on both players, but nobody necessarily taking a stock yet.
Really good anticipation there from Greninja, pulling off the side air. The risky spike. Ooh-wee!
That downer definitely wasn't worth it. He ended up missing his opponent, and of course, being stuck at ledge is a dangerous place, and catching that jump, we see him lose that stock. And, obviously, any deficit can be, overcame, but this is a really, really dangerous. When you're looking at Steve with Diamond, and he just has the stock lead, it's really, really hard to deal with.
Steve really is controlling this fight right now. Just a lot of, just pulling off what he wants. Combos are landing. He's setting things up really well. Ooh!
We're seeing that Elytra just barely be able to snap ledge, but you're seeing Steve with Diamond now. This is where things get scary.
Danger. We've got Diamond.
Now, Diamonds is just something that you do so much damage with your combos now, and you'll be able to take stock so much earlier, so this Greninja really, really has to be careful.
Something to pay close attention to is how Neon sets up everything that he's doing. it's a lot of anticipation and really strategic play going on.
You know, it's a lot of anticipation, and, you know, he's kind of just looking, okay, this Greninja is doing this option. He's running at my crafting table. He's jumping all at a ledge, and he's kind of punishing it. So we're going to need to see this Greninja kind of mix up what he's doing. And we're kind of seeing him start to bring things back, but once again, getting hit by that marker, being at a ledge is the place you don't want to be.
That was probably unsuspected for the Greninja, being in the space of Steve just right there in the face. Jeez Louise! And there's another nice setup. The TNT taking care of business.
You know, that was so unfortunate. You know, we see the TNT setup, and of course, when side B, when it came in, it hit the pressure plate and made it detonate right in your face.
Yeah, that was big. That was a really big performance there from Neon, ending the first set in a victory for UNT Dallas against Manchester U. Really good fights leading up to what we just saw then, and now they've got their head in the game. Everyone's warmed up, confidence is there, and they're gonna go into this next set feeling good about themselves.
You know, being up on the board, having that one lead is definitely gonna help their morale so much. And even now, just going into this next match, you know, talk with your team, see, okay, I did this pretty bad last match. Going into this next match, you know, I don't want to change it up.
Yeah. That was a fun one. 12-10, super close. Steve only losing one stock. UNT Dallas is now up one. And what do you think? What do you think for Manchester U? What do you think that their next job is to do?
So I think kind of just playing your matchups, right? So obviously characters, how well they do against other characters, you know, considered a matchup. So just kind of knowing, okay, these are the characters we're playing against now. How do I play against them is going to be the key. You know, when you're playing against Terry as Pitt or Pitt as Terry, you know, you have to kind of be selective with your options. You know, one character may have bigger hitboxes than yours, so you have to be really, really smart with your decisions. But we're kind of seeing, you know, in a couple spaces, Manchester kind of struggled even with some of the better matchups they had.
Yeah, I think so too. They didn't take advantage of those favorable advantages that they had, and maybe not being as assertive as they should have. Because when UNT Dallas played in the defense, Manchester U just kind of, I think the patient game just didn't serve them as well as it should have. You know, they were being patient and did a great job defending themselves, but they didn't pull off the win at the end of the day.
Yeah, as it came down to it, even with the patience, you know, UNTD was also playing really, really patient.
Super
and once again,
patient.
Abusing that baiting, as you said, and it allowed them to take the lead. So playing into that, even baiting out your opponent's baiting, just kind of waiting, just really displaying, you know, that dominance of patience is ultimately what's going to take the game.
Now, if you didn't know, going into this next set, we don't have to see the same characters again. Players are not character locked, so it's back to mystery. Everyone's, and the lineup changes as well. They don't have to go into the fights with the exact same order. All the stocks are reset. It's back to 12-12, and it's just a brand new match going into it.
Yeah, no, and we're going to be seeing new players too, right?
I believe so. We've got a deep roster here. We've got a deep roster here at UNT Dallas, and they like to switch things up, make it really hard for their opponents to feel as though they've got a grasp of what's going on.
You know, that's so important, especially, you know, usually you take, okay, the first set, we had these listed characters. Let's figure out how to beat them. If you're going into the next match, new set of characters, all that just flies out the window.
Yeah, and you've just gotta readjust and figure it out and play your game.
You know, I think the next player was Yoshi, so I'm pretty sure that's Dub coming in.
Yep, Dub is coming in.
You know, and Yoshi's such a polarizing character to play against. He may seem all kind and friendly, you know, Mario's sidekick, but Yoshi's a really, really high damage character in this game, and it's really, really scary to play against.
Yeah, and we've seen in the last broadcast, Dub does a great job of defending as well as getting super assertive and just throwing those eggshells off the ledges and just dealing a ton of damage in an instant.
You know, like you were saying, like Yoshi can do so much damage in an instant. And I haven't seen Dub play, but just knowing the character, that's probably what we're gonna see. You know, Yoshi can juggle so much. His aerials, he has so many confirms that just moves lead into other moves. You know, his F tilts, his up tilts, all lead into juggles. And
the up tilts, oh my goodness, the juggles are insane that we saw yesterday or last week on Thursday.
You know, and it's scary being in disadvantage against that character. You know, just taking so much damage in such a short amount of time. You really question what you can do.
Yeah, it'll definitely bother you somewhat.
But, you know, we kind of saw some characters, of course, in the first sets that Manchester had. They had a lot of range. So
they did have a lot of range in all of their character selections. So, yeah, that's interesting.
And so, like, Yoshi's a character who, although when he gets in does a lot of damage, he can get outranged by some of the sorties in the game. So if we're seeing, the Byleth come back, the Mii Brawler come back, that's something you really have to be careful of with Yoshi.
True.
So we're looking into store stage selection now. What stages do you think we're going to be seeing coming in?
It depends on who's selecting. So I believe at the start of the set, it'll be another coin flip. If Manchester U selects, I'm assuming they're choosing a larger stage. Just because of how they like their ranged characters. So maybe full battlefield, or I think they'd go town and city.
As you were saying, those are both definitely big stages, and longer range and a long stage, that definitely can be it for you.
Yeah, but at the same time, it didn't serve them so well in those last matches. UNT Dallas was able to take advantage, and if you think you're going to see that Sonic again, which happened to be a pretty big problem for Manchester U, I'd probably maybe consider trying out a small stage and see what you can get done on those small stages.
Playing on a smaller stage, getting a little bit more scrappy with Sonic is definitely going to be the way to go. So, this is fresh slate, fresh new clean match, so they kind of have to shake off, that first match, that little deficit, and kind of just make the run back.
Yeah, but if it's UNT Dallas selecting stage, then we know they'll go big maps more than likely. And if I'm Man U, I'm banning those big maps right after.
Most definitely. Like
those.
Above anything else, you want to play the stages that you like, but
yeah.
To be frank, it's more important to pay attention to the stages that your opponent's definitely going to be looking for. That could change the entire tide of the match.
Right. We want to switch things up from that last one. Even though it's super close, Man U definitely still feeling confident in themselves because they were right there in that, only 2 stocks away from a win. You could definitely try to throw your opponent off with, maybe they have a lineup change. Maybe they've got a deep roster as well. Maybe they're not going to come with the exact same characters. So despite us having the confidence in the guys that we know, we don't know what's coming next for Man U.
Anything is possible. Like you said, there are so many different things that come into this equation that could potentially change the tide of the match and even the set. So ultimately, we're just going to have to see when it comes to character select.
Yep.
So in the mean.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
So we're going to be seeing UNCD is actually going to have the pick coming in. They ultimately won the coin flip. So would that be them banning first, or they get to pick stage first?
They pick stage first.
Oh yeah, that definitely changes.
Yeah, it does change a lot. So they're gonna pick what's most favorable for them, even after winning that last set. And now they're coming into this with a stage that's best for them.
Honestly, of course, not only having the momentum of winning the first set, having the boost in morale for the team, but even getting to start off in the way that you want to, going into the next match, it could potentially lead to a snowball.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a super defensive match overall. Everyone's done a great job of just getting those reads, shielding when needed, not falling into a ton of traps. But I think UNT Dallas had the slight upper hand in landing what they wanted to land.
We have a lot of characters that kind of benefit from these combos. Pit, Sonic, Mario, all those, and especially Steve. They have extensive combo routes that really allows them to rack up damage and in a lot of ways close out stocks. So that's something you have to really pay attention to. And once again, starting off on the stages if you want to, and especially on platforms, a lot of these characters with ladders, they get so much damage so quickly, so fast.
Yep, so the mentality if you're Manchester University right now, you've got to be thinking it's 0-0. You're not worried about what happened before. You're using that as an opportunity to grow better, but it's still 0-0. You've got to go into this knowing that you need to win, but don't let it stress you out.
Most definitely. Any deficit, of course, can be overcame, I'm a big basketball person. We saw the Cavs come back 3-1 against the Warriors. So if I've seen that, anything is possible.
Are you a Cavs fan?
I'm a LeBron fan.
Okay, yeah, he's the GOAT. I'm with that. And now he's getting to play with his son.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see it now. I'm a little bit of a Mavs fan, though.
Oh yeah,
just had to put that out there.
I'm a Heat fan. Yeah, because of LeBron originally. D Wade was my favorite player.
D Wade's definitely, I would say he's a really, really talented player. Having him with Braun, it was almost an unstoppable force.
Yeah, it was great. But we're still probably dealing with stage selection right now or some sort of connectivity issues. But if you're in the chat right now, just let us know who you play with. I know Official was in the chat earlier. Some funny lore about UNT Dallas and Official is he got trolled a little bit in that last match last week. and the chat was kind of grilling him the whole time. If he lost around there, like, get him out of here, don't put him back in the game. But it's all fun and games. You know, a lot of the people in the chat know the players, so it's pretty funny lore we've got right now. But Official isn't here right now due to personal reasons, and neither is Ryder, one of the other casters. But yeah, I'm sure chat rejoiced when they heard Colin say earlier that Official wasn't here. But he was in the chat for a little while. He said he had to come support his boys.
You know, a little bit of playful hate, a little playful banner, especially with your community, is always nice. And
Absolutely.
honestly, when it comes to FGCs and fighting games, community is one of the bigger things you're going to focus on. So, of course, knowing players in your local scenes, you know, even at a higher and national level, is always going to be great for you.
Absolutely. And speaking of fighting games, we've got a Dragon Ball Z right here on my shirt. May as well shout it out because Sparking Zero just dropped. Don't have the game yet, but when I get it, I am going to be a dangerous man. That is my goal.
Yeah, I wanted to play the game so bad, but it's not on PS4. So I've been sitting here, like, all my friends, like, oh, I'm on early access. It's so awesome. But
yeah.
I didn't got the chance to.
We've hit that stage of current gen gaming, which was formerly next gen, where they're like, we're going to just stop releasing games of previous consoles.
You know. And of course, that's why, you know, PC is coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're a PC, you're just fine.
Oh yeah, PC is on top. I'm ready to get my own PC and you just kind of get the best of all worlds and some.
Yeah, you get so many benefits because, of course, it's a computer. You can use it for anything basically a computer can do.
Yeah.
But graphically, it's going to be more powerful. Of course, you don't have to pay for an online subscription.
There's Steam.
Yep.
Steam is incredible. Just so many different games you can find. You can find yourself playing tiny indie games that last you a few hours, but still have just such great experiences from developers that are just, you know, super creative out there, game developers out there. Yeah, PC is incredible.
Yep, Steam, Epic, Microsoft Store, you basically have it all on PC. But once again, we're seeing, you know, probably a lot of discussion coming in when it comes to, of course, stage banning and kind of getting into the match. You know, online can be a little bit finicky for Smash Ultimate, you know, compared to some other fighting games. So there could also be some issues with connections.
Yeah, chat. Let us know in the chat who do you use if you play Smash. If you don't play Smash, do you have a preferred fighting game? Talk to us. So you said you use Sora. How long were you using? Have you ever played Kingdom Hearts?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
So
that's fine.
You know, I had a lot of friends that were into it. I, of course, you know, I was always a Nintendo kid, so I started off playing NES. I really like Earthbound.
That's my guy.
Really?
That's my guy. I'm a NES.
Yep.
NES man.
I mean, you know.
But before NES, I was a Fox man. Back on Super Smash Bros. Not Brawl.
Melee?
Melee.
Yeah,
Melee.
okay, that's a little back in the day. You know, we got some young people in chat.
Yeah. They might not know about that. But I mean, still, you know, you get a chance to play on like your grandpa's console or something. I don't know. I had the opportunity to play Smash on 64 and GameCube. I'm not old. We just had access to those consoles growing up. I'm a 2000s baby.
I mean, I am too, but even then, revisiting some of those older consoles, you know, getting a little bit retro, it's always great. You know, my dad, he loved games, playing like on the NES as a kid, and so
that's awesome.
When I relived some of those games with him, like the old Super Mario Bros, you know, it's not only great bonding, but also you kind of get to see the history of where we are now.
Oh yeah, it's different. It's different. I mean, I loved Fox. They kind of had to slow him down a little bit in the more recent games, but back then I was a cheese. They'd be like, "Dude, you're using Fox. What a loser." So what? But I had to teach myself NES just so that people couldn't do that to me. Yeah, I mean, I've been in Smash for a long time as well, but never really been in the competitive scene. Just played it for fun, more casually. But love the game. I think we see a chat right there.
I think it's being blocked by the pause function, but you know, like we're kind of saying, you know, when I came into Smash, I was almost going straight into the competitive scene. You know, I had saw Smash 4, I had saw some of the larger players, you know, Evo, seeing that tournament, I was like, man, the competitive scene is so cool. And when I went into Ultimate, I was like, I want to play this game as seriously as I can.
And speaking of competitive players, we've got UNT Denton in this conference that we play, and UNT Denton has a really well-known Super Smash Bros. Players, probably one of the best in the nation. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that matchup because I have a ton of confidence in our guys here at UNT Dallas. And his name was something the Pooh.
Skinny the Pooh.
Skinny the Pooh.
Yep.
Skinny the Pooh. And yeah, so it'll be interesting. They're also 2-0, just as we are. UNT Dallas hoping to go 3-0 after tonight. Still dealing with some map selection going on, but glad we still have you guys here, chat.
They can take as much time as they need to. This is a serious turning point. It could be a really big turning point for Maincaster or a continuation in dominance from UNTD. So it's a really big point right there. But like you were saying, Skinny the Pooh, even though UNT Dallas is the spinoff of Denton, they don't want to be seen just in their shadow.
Oh, not at all.
So having, still being 2-0, having that solid record is going to be really, really great for them.
Yeah, we've got to let folks know we are UNT Dallas, not UTD.
Yep.
That happens to me a lot. I'm walking around, I'm telling my family, they're like, hey, what school do you go to? I'm like, UNTD. And they're like, oh, UTD. And I'm like, no. UNT Dallas. All right, get it right.
Mm-hmm. We're in the UNT system, not the Texas. Like I said, I'm an Aggie at heart, so
yeah.
Texas, they're cool, I guess. But,
I guess.
But, I'm down to gig them, not hook them. But like you said, Skinny the Pooh, he's probably one of the best Mario players in the entire nation. Like you said, he fought one of the best players in arguably the Go to Smash Ultimate, MK Leo, at a recent tournament in Texas, and he actually beat him.
Crazy.
So we're looking at an incredibly talented character and player, and I've actually know some team people who are on the team as well.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be crazy seeing them. Some of our teammates, ex-teammates that I went to high school with, for example, Bonbon and Shizzy, they actually know those teams as well. So kind of it's almost like a reunion of sorts.
Yeah, that's awesome. And as a competitor, you hear those things and you get a little excited because it gives you the opportunity to test how you rank up against someone that's been on that large stage. A lot of these guys here at UNT Dallas, really competitive, put in a tons of hours honing their own games, practicing, learning each other, just growing as a team. And, when you've got the opportunity to play someone that's been on that big of a stage, you're definitely thinking like, yeah, this is something I want. I want that victory.
Yeah, no, the D in UNTD stands for dedication and, of course, Dallas.
I
so
like that.
Seeing you come in, putting all this work in, you're going to want to be able to show it off. You're not necessarily maybe as known as one of these players, but obviously you still have the skill, you still have the talent, and especially if it's a player you're familiar with, especially on the big stage, you're going to want to show up and show out.
Definitely.
So I think we're going to be joining back the arena, like you said, Smash Ultimate. It's finicky, online especially, to say the least. Offline it's a great experience, but when you're kind of doing online tournaments and matches, it can be slightly just.
Playing online is a great thing. It's a great thing.
It really helps you practice a lot. And, of course, when you're on LAN, it's kind of okay. But, just straight up, it can be,
Can't help it. They're all the way in Manchester, Indiana. Got to do what you got to do.
So you're thinking across country here, but we're kind of seeing them gearing back in. So we're going to be looking to the start of this game coming up pretty soon.
Here we go, folks. Grab your popcorn. It's about to get spicy.
I guess they're looking to switch in stage. We're going to see Greninja opening up. So we're going to have Yoshi versus Greninja coming in.
Get that reunion. Get that rematch. Didn't they fight before?
My
memory's a little foggy. Actually, they didn't.
Okay.
It was Sonic. It was Sonic and Greninja.
Yep. So like you said, this is definitely going to be an interesting matchup. Both these characters have really, really good frame data, meaning they're really, really fast options. So seeing, who can get the hit first, who can get their strings first, who can get their combo first, it's definitely going to be the key factor when it comes into this match.
Yep, and we've seen how UNT Dallas can get down with the patient play. That's what they eat up. They play patient. They're gonna time really well, pick and choose when to hit, and he's gonna land his hits. You got to look out for that dangerous and risky down B that's gonna come at you when you're near the ledge. But I think my boy Dubs got this under control.
Yoshi is really, really a polarizing character. At ledge, he has that down B. It covers a lot of options. He can cover normal get up, roll, even get up attack. And so not only is it really, really strong, but it also has the chance to even break your shield if you decide to just try to shield it.
We haven't seen Greninja shield too much, though, recently. I think he does a lot of evasion, so we'll see a ton of that. I think he tried to set up some baits with the way that he was utilizing his speed, moving back and forth across the stage. We'll see how this matchup goes for him. They've both got a pretty good ranking against each other, according to our sources that we were given by our production team. Thank you, Colin. And, yeah, it's a pretty good matchup. It'll be a fun one to start this next set off.
So we're going to be looking at Yoshidora. He's actually the best Yoshi player. He's, of course, in Japan. He's done incredibly well when it came to tournaments. And I'm pretty sure he has Greninja as an even matchup. So there's not necessarily going to be a strong advantage for necessarily either side. So we're kind of looking almost at an even match. But even with the characters are even, if your players aren't, then it doesn't really matter. We're going to be seeing, we're kind of hovering around FD, but we're going to be switching over to small battlefields. So I think
hopefully things get started. Really exciting.
And of course, Yoshi is the character that kind of thrives off platforms. He gets so many extensions off them. So we're going to see if Greninja will be all right kind of playing around these platforms. It can be a little rough given that you're fighting against, once again, Yoshi.
I'm looking forward to that up tilt. I'm looking forward to that up tilt so very much.
Yep, I promise you we're definitely going to be seeing it going in. So once again, this is first match going into our second set.
Here we have it.
Yep, 3 stocks. It's all even. No taunts, just straight in.
There's that shield that we talked about. UNT Dallas really knows that Greninja at this point.
Yep, and of course, Yoshi, he has a shield too, but his shield is slightly different from most characters. His shield, it's not as strong as most other characters. He honestly gets the benefit of not being able to get hit out of it like most characters can.
As you'd expect an eggshell to be not too strong.
Yep, but we're seeing Yoshi, he's going to be, at 67, but of course, Yoshi's a little bit of a heavy character. He's a big boy, so you don't have to worry about damage too much.
What do you think about that plat utilization we just saw there? We saw Greninja kind of sprinting back and forth, trying to time his combos and get his strings off. And Yoshi utilizing the platforms to avoid those.
Yeah, once again, Greninja's the character that thrives off of getting his dash attacks and his down tilts, air, dash attack, down tilts, those are really your combo starters, so playing around platform can really help you avoid those. And so we're kind of seeing, once again, we're seeing kind of even footing coming in. Greninja's slightly like character, so one confirm could potentially end up losing his stock.
Baiting something there near the ledge and pulls up. Ooh,
yep.
Nice grab. Yoshi there.
Yep, and so we saw that down B come out, and such an excellent couch. That's such a big up smash, and we're seeing that damage come out.
Very unpredictable there near the edge, because Greninja thought he had something coming off once he recovered from the ledge. Got a nice spot dodge behind Yoshi, but the down B really dealt a ton of damage.
Yep, and once again, Yoshi just has these combos. He's doing so much damage, and like you said, getting these up tilts, getting these side tilts, they're going to open up so much damage opportunity.
And the timing on the shields is something that should be paid close attention to, because Greninja's being assertive, but we see Yoshi here at 136% and not looking too pressed.
Yep, and so he's honestly, even despite being at such a high percent, you're not going to necessarily be afraid to go in, throw out some of those safe moves.
There's that up tilt we love.
Yep, and we're seeing him try to convert off it, but, at such a high percent, you have so much knockback, you can't really combo off it like you normally want to.
Good little forward air before to keep Yoshi off his back.
Yep,
Ooh, they're playing around near the ledge here.
If this is a dangerous place to be in, you're definitely at high percent. That down B coming out, not quite going to kill.
Oh, doesn't get the follow through, and he misses the recovery. Something we didn't see too much from Greninja in these past matches.
Yeah, Greninja has such a great recovery. Usually he can get back to stage pretty well, but we're seeing him come short, and that's just such a struggle going in for this Greninja.
Okay, Greninja tried to pull off a grab there. Yoshi utilizing the ledge. Really favorable situation here for Yoshi with 3 stocks to Greninja's 1. And that's going to get it done.
Yeah, finally that fair is going to come out. It's going to be able to take that stock, but when you're a stock down and you're against Yoshi, a character that does so much damage with such safe moves, it can be really, really hard.
And you can't put yourself in a position where you're too assertive, because as you see, Dub is doing a great job of just timing when to attack and when to defend. And when Greninja closes that distance, he's got something prepared for him.
Yep, and once again, as you were kind of saying with Dub and his patience, we're seeing him, kind of go for these combo starters, but just waiting, just to see what the Greninja does. And getting a punish like that can definitely be able to take the stocks. You have to be really, really careful if you're the Greninja player right now.
Tried to pull off the down B right there near the ledge.
This is such high percent. To be frank, you're going to be looking at the next move, potentially taking the stock. And there he goes, catching that jump from ledge. That was a really, really good read on that. We're going to be seeing UNTD going up 2 stocks.
Big time. That's big. You got the Greninja out, who's one of the really good fighters on that Manchester Youth team we saw in the previous set. Did a really good job of just kind of being fast and assertive. But Dub did a great job with his patience and just dealing a ton of damage in no time.
I don't want to necessarily say it's a character diff, but, Yoshi does so much more damage compared to Greninja. Greninja, he does have combos, but he has to work a lot harder when it comes to him.
Yeah, and he didn't close the space as much as he might have preferred. And, I mean, we saw Yoshi was stuck at about 136% for a good while there because of, Dub's patience and really good defense. He just managed to pull off something incredible.
We're going to see some amazing talent coming up. Dub opening up so well for UNTD. So we're going to see how Manchester can potentially mix things around. We're going to see, potentially a character switch, maybe a new player coming in entirely. We just have to see how it goes.
And now UNTD is leading 3-1, only losing one stock in that first matchup. And, of course, Grey Ninja going all the way out, losing all 3 stocks.
Yep, and that's definitely never a situation we want to open up in. But we saw, last match we saw UNTD. They were faced with a similar situation, of course, being down 2 stocks. So Manchester can potentially bring it back just as how as they did. But, when you're opening up a player and a character like Yoshi and a player like Dub, it can be a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, fun saying I used to like to say all the time is that Smash is a game of moments. Much like a lot of other fighting games. You don't worry about what happened in the past. You worry about being in the moment. And these guys, they're doing a great job playing patient. And you've got to take advantage of the opportunities that you're given. And you've got to play your game. Don't let the other opponent take advantage of you.
Maximize the moment. I'm actually going to use that now.
Oh, yeah, take it.
Focusing in on a moment, not letting the past kind of throw you in a loop. You got to stay dedicated, stay locked in, stay focused, and just keep pushing forward. So we're going to be looking into, of course, character or stage bans right now. Yoshi really benefited a lot from those platforms. So maybe Manchester may be looking for a stage with a couple less.
Yep, and Manchester can ban of the following: Battlefield, Town and City, Small Battlefield, Pokemon Stadium 2, Smashville. And those are the ones that they can ban. Counter picks are Kalos, Pokemon Stadium, Final Destination, Hollow Bastion.
So if you're going to be wanting to get rid of platforms entirely, you're obviously going to look for a stage like FD. But even then, just the shift in platforms like PS2 would definitely be a good change of pace.
Yeah, it definitely would.
So we're seeing
we've got our buy list again.
So we aren't seeing any player switches yet so far. So we're having this buy list coming against Yoshi. Now, like I said, Yoshi's a character that can struggle against range a little bit, but even then, once he gets in,
that big damage is gonna help him out a ton.
Yep, pushing his advantage state is just something Yoshi does so well. So we're gonna be going into this next match. UNT with 2 stocks in, Manchester coming in with 3. We're going to be able to overcome this tide, or if UNTD is going to keep pushing forward.
And I'm curious to see if this Violet is going to really optimize their range, or if they're just going to play into the close range fight that Yoshi wants.
Yep, and so we're kind of seeing that we're kind of boxing a little bit right now, and we're seeing Yoshi kind of run away with this lead up.
Still just getting the feel. Broke the shield really easily there.
Yep, of course, Yoshi does a lot of shield damage, but once again, Violet's a character too. They do a lot of shield damage, and Yoshi, like I said, has a little bit less actual shield health than most other characters, so he has to be careful not to get his shield broken.
Really aggressive approach here on the ledge. Violet mistiming the recovery.
Yeah, no, I don't even think they had a jump either, so it was just really unfortunate.
Yeah.
So we're seeing it honestly being evened up, and Yoshi's a character that can definitely bring this back to even footing.
Uh-oh. Major forward smash there from the Byleth, sending Yoshi across stage and completely out of that second stop.
All the way across stage into that other side of the blast zone. I think we saw Dub trying to go for the B reverse neutral just to get up some damage, but he just slightly misspaced it. And, Byleth has so much range that F smash is not only powerful, but it's really, really long.
And now with that last stock being taken off of Yoshi, you can see Byleth playing with a lot more aggressive, a lot more confidence. Maybe trying to string together their combos, but Yoshi getting something together there, dealing quick 37%.
Down air, that move where Yoshi utilizes his speed, it does so much damage, and he put his opponent in a tech situation, but he accidentally hit the second jab, so he didn't get the jab block. But even now, we're seeing him still overcome this deficit that he was kind of struggling with earlier.
And now we're seeing Byleth utilize that range. Slightly mistimed that, well, not mistimed, but almost landed that charged arrow there.
Yep,
wow.
And we're seeing a trade come out that F smash so strong. We're going to be seeing it even it, but Yoshi's, he can rack up damage like he is right now.
And we've seen already Dub doing a really great job with his patience and knowing that he deals such good damage in a short amount of time. This 106% isn't too much for him to worry about.
Yep, and once again, that F smash coming out is going to be a little bit stale, but that air might do it.
Incredible ledge guard there from Dub. just losing one stock and taking all 3 of Byleth's.
You know, that was absolutely incredible. We're going to see that reverse coming out, so UNTD has continued its domination. So
absolutely, yeah. Dub's on fire. Yoshi's got it going. Even when his back was against the wall, he's still pulling through, playing that aggressiveness, knowing that he's going to deal a ton of damage in so little time. He played that edge really well. He put Byleth in some serious trouble 2 times in that one match where recovery just wasn't an option.
Yeah, no, like, for example, we saw that last stock, the Narratin, so far off that Byleth couldn't even recover to get back. So, and Yoshi has so much air mobility and such big moves that it can be really, really hard for most characters to get back.
And now this is probably where things get a little bit stressful if you're Manchester University. Not that it's impossible for you to come back, but you've lost your Great Ninja and you've lost your Byleth, who was your main range player from what we've seen so far, if they're not doing character switches. And we've gone nothing but big stages except for one matchup. They've got 2 fighters left. What are you thinking?
So, I think it's definitely gonna you have to really kind of get at that state of, oh no, we've lost 2 players. We're really down against 1. You kind of had to overcome that.
Yeah.
So, but it can be really hard, you know, when you're having 2 of your players get swept by 1. It kind of breaks down your morale and you're already in a deficit, but you have to stay strong.
Absolutely. Got to stay focused on the moment. And they're going into this, I believe that UNT Dallas or Manchester University, since they lost that one, should be getting the next map ban again. So they've got to use that to their advantage. They've got to know who's coming next in the lineup, who's filling up to the task of taking this stock off of Yoshi and fighting whoever comes next.
You know, and they have to do it fast. You know, Dub is just spiraling. He keeps going. He keeps snowballing.
Yeah, and his head's on fire right now. He's feeling himself. He's confident, and you don't want him to go any further than this one stock right here. And you preferably would not lose a stock in this matchup, even though it's very possible. If you can go into the next one with all 3, it's perfect for you.
Yep, that's what you're going to really want, as you were saying, kind of just going in, just trying to get that one stock without losing any of yours. You have to maximize these stocks, especially when you're in such a big deficit like this.
And with that being said, we know that Yoshi does a ton of shield damage, so you're probably not shielding as much, but rather dodging. And you're going to try and deal a ton of damage in a short amount of time. So we see the Me Gunner here coming into this one. Me Gunner versus Yoshi. Me Gunner did a really good job against our Sonic.
Yep, and so we're seeing Me Gunner come in. So I'm not necessarily familiar with this matchup, but, you know, Me Gunner is a really hard character to deal with, like you said, online. And so if you can kind of play around Yoshi's mobility, keep him out, then you're definitely going to be at an advantage. And so even right now, we're seeing just Yoshi kind of get in. This is a really big struggle for Me Gunner. That character, you know, they do have, of course, defensive options as the edge character does, but they don't necessarily have any really mobile moves to let them get out of just disadvantage.
And checking our sources, Yoshidora states that Me Gunner is a pretty even matchup for Yoshi. And as we see, I mean, we got a quick 90%.
Yep, so this is really dangerous spot. Obviously, like you said, we were talking, you don't want to necessarily lose any stocks now, but 90% is going to be really scary. And once again, you're off stage against Yoshi.
Back throw. Nice string there. Jeez. That's a big move for Dub. Yep. You've achieved taking that stock off of the Manchester U. And like we said, he's confident right now. He's in his game. He's in his bag. He's working. He's got the air juggles going. Big up smash, 94%, just like that in an instant, right after taking the first stock.
You know, Dub is actually on fire, and once again, off stage is where he thrives, you know. And we saw him take that fair stock. Being a ledge is really dangerous, and he missed the up smash, but even then, you're at such big damage, and you're so close to taking this stock.
And Me Gunner is just not managing to avoid these big damage hits from Yoshi.
And so it's kind of looking now, you know, you were kind of hoping to go in, not necessarily losing any stocks, but if anything, you just need to focus on winning the game.
Yeah, you've got to focus. Now at this point, don't worry about, you know, getting too assertive. You've got to survive. He's letting Yoshi pull off a little too much here. Very dangerous recovery there. Probably didn't want to grab onto the ledge, but still got his feet on the ground.
Yep, and off stage, once again, this can be really dangerous at ledge against Yoshi, almost catching the roll. And we're going to see what this punish is. Once again, we're just keeping them at ledge and taking the game.
And that's credit to Dub's game knowledge right there, because you're seeing he's using his shield on time. And he's also very aware of the gaps. After Me Gunner's using those smash attacks, he's capitalizing. He got a quick grab off, and he's getting him right back to the ledge where he wants him.
Yep, just putting your opponent in a situation where you benefit is just so important. Dub is walking away with 3 dubs on his name right now. So I guess it's literally in the name. But
can we see some dubs in the chat? Whether you want to type DUB or throw up a W, go ahead and leave them in there for us.
All the support is needed, but even without the support, Dub is just going absolutely
crazy.
Yeah,
he's on fire. He came into that match with 1 stock, and he left with still 1 stock, and he took all 3 from Me Gunner. Me Gunner had a plan, and I think it just fell apart really quickly because of Dub's assertiveness. He got the damage in. Like you mentioned before, the damage is going to happen with Yoshi just really quickly. And you didn't want to shield, of course, because Yoshi could break those shields, but he couldn't avoid the attacks.
And, of course, like you said, mobility is so important and kind of utilizing it. But Me Gunner is kind of a slow character. They do have a couple movement options. You still have, like, your fair. Of course, Me Gunner's fair actually pushes them away so they can utilize it for movement. But even then, they have a pretty slow roll. They have a pretty okay air dodge. So they didn't really get to utilize the movement. And it's just really, really hard against Yoshi, who's so fast, not only on the ground, but in the air as well.
We got the support in the chat. We appreciate you. Dubs in the chat. Dubs in the chat. Dub is on fire. He's going ridiculous right now. Like, he really is cooking. He's got both hands in the kitchen on the pot. He's going crazy.
We're looking at a definite Gordon Ramsay right here.
Yeah, he's Hell's Kitchen right now. Yeah, man.
And so we're looking at a best of 5, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Best of 3.
Oh, best of 3.
Best of 3. This is why it's really scary for Manchester University, because it's all or nothing right now. You're down to your last fighter, your last 3 stocks. In UNT Dallas, Dub's gone this crazy. So, I mean, it's intense for them over there right now.
Now, of course, anything is possible.
Absolutely.
You can overcome anything. But when you're looking at this level of deficit, it definitely can be really, really hard on your team.
Definitely. And, I mean, you're going to put your best guy in right now if they're still around. We haven't seen very many character changes, so they're going right back to the Terry.
All right, and Terry's definitely a character that even when they take a lot of damage, they can, of course, benefit off Go so much. So we're going to be seeing if we can utilize that to try to get this stock off, just this one singular stock off Dub.
Yeah, and I think I'm seeing here Terry's actually a pretty even matchup for Yoshi. So again, Yoshi being such a versatile and strong character in this game, he's got a lot of fair matchups.
Most definitely. And, of course, Town and City's actually a really, really good stage for Terry. He has that kind of single middle plat that he can play around of, and he kills so early off the side with some of his special moves.
So kudos to Manchester utilizing that map selection and striking to their advantage.
We're kind of seeing them start off, well, I was saying a lot better, but once again, that fair into jab, even something that simple does a lot of damage for Yoshi.
Now, that's something I want to see a little bit. I mean, that was really nice from the Terry. He utilized the fair away, and then whenever Yoshi closes distance, you got that jab like you mentioned. Like, power punch, dealing a ton of damage.
Yeah, and we're seeing, 1-8, 117 on Yoshi, even if he is a heavy character. Terry definitely has the means to take damage, and, of course, at ledge, we're going to see if he can potentially take this stock.
He got it. He pulled it off.
So we're seeing Manchester finally taking steps towards kind of pushing us to a game, of course, a set 3, taking that dash attack pretty strong, taking out Yoshi.
Big moves from Terry there, not folding under pressure, because we still saw the same Dub. Dub didn't fold, but Terry took advantage. Terry knew what to do, and he executed. So there you have it. UNT Dallas lost Dub, and we're going in to see the next fighter.
So we're kind of seeing Manchester just barely hanging on. Dub put in so much work to get through these final 3. So it's just a matter of his team, finally being able to step up and close it out.
Yeah, there's a sliver of hope there, and that's all you need. That's all you need. You've got the support of your teammates in the room with you, hopefully. You got to keep pushing. UNT Dallas, you've still got the favor. The odds are in your favor right now. You've got to execute. This is the last fighter for Manchester U, and you're up 1-0 in a 3-game set. So it's best of 3. So the first team to win 2 sets wins the entire match for the night.
Yep, and of course, like you said, even though you're going to be at an advantage, there's a difference between simply winning and actually closing it out. So if you don't have the means to close out the match, you could even get reverse swept, and getting put into a set 3. But with 3 players, and of course 3 different characters, and we're looking to see a Terry Ditto right now.
Yeah, we're seeing Neon back in the game. Neon coming through with the Terry, so this is going to be a very funny one.
You know, so we're seeing him switch off of Steve and actually go for the Terry Ditto, so this is definitely going to be interesting going in.
Yeah, I think he's having a little fun with it maybe. UNT Dallas, oh, Goodman Dan is coming in actually. It's Goodman Dan's Terry.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
I want to say I think I fought Dan earlier, so he has a really, really solid Terry.
Really solid Terry.
We're going to be looking, like I said in the Terry Dittos, let's see who ultimately comes on top as the best Terry.
Yeah, Terry's got that luscious hair, and so does Goodman Dan, so he's kind of twinning with the character he uses. That maybe plays into his chemistry and, his epicness when he's out there playing with the controller. You can kind of feel yourself in the character.
Man, seeing Dan with his hair, I think my hair is pretty nice, but when I get like his, I think it'll definitely be a game changer. But
Facts. We're both froed up right here, putting on for the people.
But we're seeing some Tekken music come out now. Me personally, that's one of the series in Smash that I think I like the music of actually the most. Now, Terry as a character is a little different discussion, but we're going to be seeing him go in, and we're going to be seeing, once again, 3 stocks each.
This will be fun, folks. We got a Terry Ditto. We're going to see those fairways collide. I know it. 3 stocks to 3 stocks. They're straight at it. Just for you guys to remember, the red Terry is Goodman Dan, and the black Terry is Man-U's Terry.
So we're kind of seeing, Dan's going to be coming out. He's going to be actually at 77, but like you said, for Terry, getting to 100% is where he really, really
Here he has it. He has his goal meter filled.
But once again, we're seeing, Manchester kind of coming out strong. They're trying to say, we still have the opportunity, we still have the chance to take this back. And, Dan is almost at that percent of losing it.
Uh-oh.
Really great DI coming out from that dash attack, but sadly,
doesn't pull off the recovery.
So we're seeing him go in, 2 stocks. Of course, anything he could do for his team is obviously going to be great. So we're going to see if he can potentially overcome this deficit.
This might be a message to Street Fighter, but maybe consider adding platforms to your game, because this is looking great.
Yep, Terry, like you said, he just added to Street Fighter 6, so, he's kind of doing great everywhere. In Fatal Fury and King of Fighters, he's a great character. In Smash, he's great. And in SFX, he's great. So, Terry, he's winning all across the board.
Oh, yeah, he's up. Big combo there, utilizing the high goal meter.
Yep, so we're going to see that Buster Wolf being able to take that stock. So finally, we're going to be looking at 2v2. Like you said, those super moves can kind of close out things really, really early for Terry. So we're going to be seeing, kind of that damage coming in, kind of benefiting Dan a little bit.
An absolute slugfest here. Just major damage being dealt by both parties.
Wow, and of course, 150 for Dan. Any hit could potentially be able to take this stock, but... Oh, actually, he didn't confirm out that jab. That was very interesting.
Baited the grab. Yeah, both guys just getting good reads here, and there it is, another stock off of Goodman Dan's Terry, so it's 2-1.
So Dan's looking at his last stock, but like you said, it's just a matter of setting it up great for your team.
There you have it.
Of course, even with the deficit, anything is possible. With one more confirm, you're going to be looking at even stocks, even footing.
So despite Goodman, oh my goodness, what a string. Finishing it off with that good power dunk.
What a close match coming in for this Terry Ditto, It's honestly a pretty even fight for the best Terry going in between the 2 schools.
Yeah, it's very, very much even. Lost connection.
We've lost the setup.
We've gone dark.
Bravo 6 has gone dark. It's kind of a little bit of a sad moment. We don't know what's going on.
This is a sad moment. Production team putting in the work right now, trying to get us back in it with those 1 stocks left and potentially the end of this match. We really want to see this. Hang in there with us, folks.
Bear with us, chat. Bear with us. But, of course, it was such an even match, so I have no doubt in my mind that they're kind of going back and forth even right now.
Oh, definitely. Definitely, especially with how the both of them can just withstand so much damage. I mean, I'm hands are sweating. I'm interested to see who made it out of this one.
Yep, and so, like you said, production is kind of working together to get everything going, but as you were saying, they were both on one-on-one stocks, kind of just trying to edge each other back, trying to see who could really, really close it out.
Having fun with it. Can't help but have fun when you've got that kind of matchup. Because he didn't have to change his play and be super defensive like he had to a little bit with the Yoshi. He got to play his game, and he got super aggressive out the gate from what we saw from Terry from Man U.
Like an absolute slugfest, like you say. You don't have to necessarily play slow. You can kind of get in their faces. We had some characters like Sonic and Me Gunner where you want to kind of slow it down, but with Terry, it's all in.
And it's a perfect way to end that match if that's how it's ending. I think it was a great decision for them to let Goodman Dan step in the fray and try his hand against their Terry.
It was great not only for the school, but also, for us, kind of watching that ditto, seeing both those characters kind of running at each other, see who has the tighter combos is definitely going to be great. And so we're looking at the characters select for UNTD. So I believe Manchester might have closed out Dan's last stock.
Okay.
And so with that, I believe, of course, Manchester's still going to have one stock left. UNTD still has 2 fighters, but
UNTD has 2 fighters, and was it 1 stock or 2? He had 1?
Yeah, it was the 1.
Okay.
So, they're still hanging in there, but now I believe we're going to be having
Team captain.
Oh, Lewis Gannon coming in. He plays, a lot of good players. Min Min, Palu, Mithra, and then, of course, Ganondorf.
Yeah. When you send in your team captain, you know what that means.
Yep.
It means
business.
It means business. You're ready to seal the night. UNT Dallas is up 1-0 as we mentioned before. UNT Dallas has 2 fighters left, but I'm not too sure that last fighter is going to have to be used because Terry's only got 1 stock. Now anything is possible, but I'm rooting for UNT Dallas, so I'm going to say it like this. Folks, if your popcorn is almost finished, don't worry about popping more. Night is almost over.
Yep, we're going to be looking at, honestly, 4th quarter, last couple minutes. We're looking almost at garbage time. We're looking at these 2 teams, even though it was kind of a very competitive match, looking into the second set, we're going to be looking at some UNT domination.
Yeah, in respect to Manchester, the score doesn't always tell the entire story. You've got to witness it. And what we witnessed was a lot of smart play and a lot of favorable matchups. It was really even throughout. But UNT Dallas just really took advantage of playing with patience, and they utilized their stage selection a little bit better and, took care of business up until this point. So Terry's down to his last stock, which is also the last fighter for Man U. And we're going to see team captain Luce Gannon come through with the Min Min.
Now, Min Min definitely is a really difficult character to play against.
It's terrible. Yeah. It's terrible. The range and damage combined doesn't seem like it should be allowed. It's incredible what you can see from Luce Gannon's play. We see this, it's just, we saw him take out a few stocks in just less than a minute. It's really awesome. So here we go. Terry's coming in. We're going to get our 2 SDs to start this one. They're in a taunt, and it's going to be business time.
I actually even played against the captain earlier, and like you said, he's the captain for a reason. So, we're going to be seeing if he can, of course, close it out, clutch it out for his team, and send home Manchester tonight.
Probably going to see Terry change pace. We saw an aggressive Terry before, but he definitely has to get in Min Min's space.
Yep, like you said, Min Min's just a character you have to get in the face of them. If you let them zone you out, you're going to be losing it pretty quickly, and being off stage, this is a really bad position.
Super bad, and just like that, what'd I tell you? 30 seconds, and we can't even count it as 30 seconds because they had the SD and taunt to start.
That has to be a world record.
That was probably a 6-second stock. Well,
yeah, like we were saying, Min Min's hard to play against, and it shows.
Yeah, kudos to Man U. They fought hard. They played their game, and UNT Dallas came out on top. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see the W's in the chat. Dub went absolutely bonkers to start this second set off. We went in that first set starting off with a disadvantage. And then coming into the second set, Dub jumped in the game and completely swept through a bunch of those Man U players, got a ton of dubs, and Captain Luce Gannon sealed the deal with the Min Min.
Yep, from disadvantage to domination. It's such an amazing progression and switch up coming up from UNTD. And they're continuing their streak of being undefeated, going in 3-0 into their next
3-0. 3-0. We're in the big wigs, baby. We're looking good. Thank you all for your support. Thank you so very much for your support. Make sure you follow us here in these socials at UNT Dallas eSports on Instagram, UNT Dallas eSports on YouTube to watch this VOD back and witness the domination. And of course, if you're watching right now, you're likely watching on Twitch, so hit that follow button. And we appreciate each and every one of you in the chats. Drop your W's, drop your comments, and make sure you tune in to some of the other esports that are going on during the week.